Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Mr. Super Knowledge Games. So this time I have another special game for you guys. This is a 1 versus 3 win on a random 3v3 game setup. So random 3v3 is just a reminder you're playing with two random people that you don't know against three other people who may or may not be in a preset team. So it's a tough setup. The people that you're playing with, you don't know if they'll be communicative or collaborative. So it's like total Pandora's box in terms of your allies, and then you could be playing against people who are part of a team or not. And so that's you don't know. It's out of your control, and it's part of the BattleNet algorithm for just matchmaking. There are scores involved, so there what BattleNet does is they try to make the teams even. But there's a lot of uncertainty, randomness involved, and so that because of that, it can be pretty difficult. Extremely difficult and sometimes frustrating, but that's the challenge and that's the fun of it. So let's get right to it. So let me find that replay. Hopefully, it's not too far down. 3 win, and some of these other ones I will show you. By the way, if you guys are interested in just analyzing my games, just let me know, send me a message, and what I'll do is I will send you the VODs. And then you can analyze. So it could be anybody who does streaming or analysis or commentary, like Pig and Winter. So they do casts of other players sometimes, like Florencio. So here it is. I found it. And so if you guys want that, like those other streamers, just let me know. So let's get into that game. So it's on Sandstorm. I need to do, I think, a small update to show you that because it's on a different version of StarCraft. No, oh, okay, it's going. Okay, so we're going to be able to get right into it. So like I said, I'm starting this game and I don't plan that my allies will leave. Okay, so see here, both of my allies have just left. And I'm up here. Let me just change the color coding. And I'll change the zoom level so it's more clear than it was the last time I was showing it to you guys. So I'm here in the center and my allies have left, so it's just me. Let me put up the sound so maybe you can catch some of that. Okay, so here I go. I know my allies are gone. I don't know what the enemy races are. I'm not too sure if I do or don't. Sometimes it tells you random, sometimes it tells you specifics. But so here I'm going. Okay, the first thing I do is I put down a pylon, then I go and I get in a fast expansion because I really want to get my economy running up and running as fast as possible, and I have it running strong. And since I have a burst of money at the beginning, then I'm able to build actually two Nexi. And then, so that's the first thing that I do, and then the next thing I do is I get my tech building, which is the gateway. And then get the gas geysers up and running, or at least summon to get up and running. I try to develop also my allied bases too, so they are puppet allies. There's nobody there. I'm just controlling them, and it feeds me extra money. So I try to get them rolling. I try to move fast because I know that they're going to be on me, or I have to be on them fast for me to be able to have any chance of winning. So now I call in a forge. Now this is useful for making cannons or getting the ground upgrades. So I'll always do this because it's just a building that you need. So you see here, my allies have no money. All the money filters towards me. In order to do a rush in this type of scenario, let me zoom out even a bit more. Can I? Yeah. So here I zoomed out a bit more. So in this scenario, like I'm gonna need a lot of gateways to go with low-level units. Okay, I'm setting up defense on the right side because I know there's a good chance I'll be attacked. These people, they always use cheese and they always love to do fast attacks. So I'm setting up a blockage on this point here with two cannons to protect me from weak Zergling rushes. So here I'm already being rushed by Teal. And here I have to respond. It's only 4 Zerglings, it's not too bad, but I have to respond. I think I'm a bit slow to respond. Finally I do. I don't walk through the Zerglings, but it doesn't matter. I clean it up, and the control by the enemies is not that great. I lost a couple of probes, but I'm creating more probes with Chrono Boost, so I'm also taking care of the last Zergling here, so I know that it's not too detrimental to my game at this point. So now there's, as you see on the map, there's a second wave of Zerglings. Oh, and I didn't see you guys. See, the, there's so much happening in a StarCraft 2 game. Sometimes it's hard to show you it all, and especially in a 3-on-3 game, there's so much happening all over the place. It's almost impossible to show you it all without pausing it and going to different places, and sometimes even rewinding it. Because sometimes there's just accident in 5-6 places, and if you're watching pro players in a 3v3 or 2v2, there's sometimes stuff happening at like 6, 7, or 10 different places. So because they're so fast. So anyway, so here you see how I set it up. I made defense on the right point. Nobody can get in here without breaking these two cannons. So this is a pretty solid early game defensive setup at that ramp. And then here at this ramp, this is larger. I know that I'm not going to be able to block it off completely. Plus, I don't want to block it off completely. I made a quite heavy defense with 3 cannons, so one more than the other side. So this will heavily damage any Zerglings running by. Also discourage them from doing early game attacks. It kind of gives my early game setup for defense, which Protoss happens to have the best structures to do that because they have the cannons which shoot up and down and don't have to be filled up with any type of units. So yeah, so I defending really well here at the beginning, and it's all it's all planned. The thing is happening in the game really by accident in StarCraft 2. You control everything. I mean, you control the procession of the game in many aspects. So here I have gas going here, and I probably forgot to put 3 here. And it's going pretty well on the Terran puppet base. I'm getting things going. I'm chronoing more workers. I'm really getting the economy going, and also doing my tech at the same time. So you see a lot of stuff going on. So the first items of tech for a ground attack is to get the gateway warp gate research. So this will allow me to build units at the start of a build cycle instead of at the end of a build cycle, which is how it usually works in RTS unit building games. And also I need to get the Twilight Council to research my foot speed upgrade for my Zealots. So you can see my warp gate tech upgrade is complete, so all the gateways transform to warp gate versions. I have a little Zealot stuck in there that's an inefficiency, but I can't get him out, and I don't think I'm going to take the time to kill him to regain the supply points. I'm building more gateways, and now I've sent a probe to the other side of the map to set up a warp point, so a forward operating warp point, and I'm going to build with that pylon also a gateways to increase the warp speed. I'm sending the 4 stalkers that I've pre-made across the map, so I'm already starting my version of my attack, and they're already getting ready to do their cheese or their early attacks with Zealots. This Patu player, he noticed my my pylon but was slow to react on attacking it, so he's going to attack my units that are there, but my reinforcements are coming in, and I'm not too worried about it because I'm ready to build my Zealots, and now they're coming in, and Zealots counter Zealots really Zerglings really well. The only problem is that they're warping in a little bit slow, but there's enough time. Okay, I'll lose probably these stalkers, but these Zealots will protect the spawn point, which is the most important aspect. So now you see I have about 10 gateways. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 10, no, even 11, which is good and a lot, and I need to get the foot speed, so now it's almost done. A lot of stuff going on. I have my foot speed, I've defended my forward point, I'm ready to zoom in. What I want to do here is I want to warp in a balance of stalkers and Zealots. So stalkers provide that range and anti-air, Zealots is like that pure ground power. And you can see here they're here working together well. And I mean, things are going good for me right now against these 3 players. So I'm warping in, taking care of these Mutalisks. I might wait for another cycle before I go in completely. This one is all stalkers, and now here comes the big pressure from the 1 player side, being me. So it's going good. I'm wrecking the economy at this forward base. Now stalkers are good at destroying buildings because they get an attack bonus because buildings are armored. And this one's going to go down. Let's see what's going on here. They're doing their counter strategies, but it's going really well for me. I've taken out that base. If I've taken out that base, that's because they were not able to defend it. If they were able to defend it, they would have. So things are going good. I'm pushing in. Usually when you're attacking a 3 like this and there's one Zerg, you want to kill the Zerg first. Because the Zerg has the least amount of buildings. So you can do the most amount of damage to his realm or his side by attacking him first. Here he's reacting. Finally the allies are reacting, sending what the units they do have to me. But really at this point I just have too much. Even without upgrades, it's just sheer quantity here. Actually, I did take the time to do one upgrade, one attack upgrade, so that helps. But you can see what's going on. It's beginning to smell like a victory for the me versus the 3. He's using his probes. That's not going to work out against this many soldier units. They're in the mode of building units. This guy actually spent time to make these spine crawlers, which is not going to help his allies at all. There's no large amount of expansions going on that I have to be worried about. It's just about cleaning up the last parts. Red has already given up. It seems like a nice victory. When will they tap out? I'm microing my units forward so that I can just attack better these spine crawlers. But no, it's pretty much written here. The result is in the books. Where's my GG? I say GG news, but this is just my online persona trash talk, you can say. And we have Dinger who's gone, and maybe there's just Blue who is still not tapping out yet. He's not tapping out because he's created this far base, but now he just tapped out. So that's it. There's the game. 1v3 win with Protoss. A lot easier than with other races, because you see, I mean with Zerg, because with the Zerg I would never have been able to get upgraded Hydras produced en masse and rushed over to the other side of the map and be able to counter it efficiently any air units, because it takes a long time to get to that point to be able to rush Hydra. I mean, it's doable, but it is hard, and to do that with Zerg plus defend your territory with Zerg, get your upgrades, get the tech, get the Hydras out, run across the map. Normally that takes a long time. And Hydras, I'll just remind you, they're actually fragile units, right? So you would have to defend them by some good ground units, which Zerglings are not. Zerglings are not great ground units. You need a lot of them to be effective. I even have detection. So you can see I was doing tech in the back to get observers, and I didn't even get the chance to show you that part. Here I'm just doing the cleanup, which I like to do at the end of the game, but now I've gone. So there you go, very fun game, and let me see if I can get you guys another game up today. Like the 1v3 games are rare, so I'll try to show you the interesting games. Sometimes games in the scenario of 2v3, which is not easy to do. It's not easy to win on 2v3. So 1v3 is harder than 2v3, but 2v3 is also not easy. You're at a disadvantage, even though you have some marginally extra income from the one puppet base, but it is pretty challenging too in many situations. So that's it for this video. Thanks guys, I hope you appreciated it, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.